Good morning. We are learning our subject Python for Data Science 3150713. And in that, we are learning our module that is overview of Python and data structure, right? So, in last lecture, what we have done, we have used the global variable, right? So, scope rules we have seen in previous lecture, isn't it? We have used the global count. All of you must remember that, right? So, this global use of global we have seen, fine, and we have seen the use of this factor. How we no, we want to see that. Okay, so what was that? Factor is equal to 10. Scope example we have seen. Now let us see one more. Factor is equal to 10. Def f of r, return factor multiply by r. Def update underscore factor. Factor is equal to 16. What is the case? That we have taken factor as one variable. Now, in this particular function, what we are doing is we are multiplying r, whatever is the parameter, with what? With factor, right? Now, one more function is there, that is def update underscore factor. So what we do after that? We are having x is equal to f of 5. That means we are calling the function that is f. After that, we are calling the function that is update factor. And y is equal to f of 5. And after that, we want to print x and y. So we want to see the value of factor, right? The way it is getting changed or it is not getting changed, we want to check it out. Fine, let us see. If this is a program, what will happen when we call x is equal to f of 5? That means we are calling f function by passing the value 5. So here we can say, first of all, this factor is equal to 10 is initialized. After that, the function is that. This is called as the first line of the program, right? It is not called as part of the function, isn't it? Because it is not part of it. The first line is called, then these are the function definitions. Without calling the function, those will not be called. So here it is being called, and here we can say that we will be having, say, factor multiplied by 10. So what is factor? That is 10 multiplied by 5. So what it returns? That is 50, right? After that, what is the case? That update factor. Okay, are we calling that? Yes, we are calling from here, that is update factor. What we are doing after that? That is factor is equal to 16. That means we have modified the factor variable, but only inside the update will be having the scope of this factor variable, right? Yesterday somebody was asking that, ma'am, why are we writing that global? And what is the effect of it? That is, when we are using it as global in the previous example, when we are using it as global, it means whatever is the global value is there, that is being used, as well as whatever changes will be doing inside that function, that also will be reflected back to the global variable, right? But in this example, here we are updating factor is equal to 16, but will it be there in the effect after the function is over? No, it will not be there in effect. Okay, so you can say that update factor, but it will only initialize this factor is equal to 16. That is local variable. After that, we can say again y is equal to f of 5. So again we are calling the function, that is this f, and passing the value of 5. Now here return factor multiply by r. What is the value of factor? Is it this 16? No, because it is local variable to this update underscore factor function, right? So it is taking the value as 10 only. So 10 multiplied by 5, and so we'll be having y also equal to 50, right? So when we print x and y, we'll be having 50, 50. Got it? Let me show you by running it. Fine. So this is the example we want to see. Fine. We are running, we have run that, and we are getting the output as 50, 50. Fine. If you change any variable here, say you are passing something, then definitely the output will be changed, right? Typically, I have written in the comment here, whatever is the output. Okay, but still, if we change, then you can definitely say that it will be different, right? Let me run this again. Okay, this is 70, 50 because I have changed the value here. Fine. So take care of that. You yourself can check it out because I have already shared the code also with you. Right? Now, what next? Passed parameter scope. What is that? Let us see. M is equal to 10. That is it global? No. It is defined first, right? After that, def, double of M, return M plus M, print, double of 7 and double of M. Okay, now we want to see the output. Okay, let us first understand it. Double of 7, okay, double of 7. So 7 is being passed here. This is local variable, isn't it? So what is the case? 7 is being passed to it. It is not taking this M. This M is the outer variable and this M is the argument which is being passed, isn't it? So whatever is passed from here, 7, that is being passed here. So return, so that is return M plus M. So 7 plus 7 and this will return us 14, fine. For the second one, double of M. So here M is, what is the value of M? That is M is equal to 10. So it will take this 10, pass to this function. This is 10 now. 10 plus 10 is 20. So we'll get the output of these as 14 and 20, right? We can see the output by running this program. It's simple, fine, 14 and 20, right? So data types we have already seen, right? But what are data types available? That only we have seen. Now we want to understand them one by one in detail. Okay, so number data type also we have seen. We have taken many examples and we have already seen what are the numbers we are using, integer, float, right? All those things we have seen. Now we want to know some more, that is string, tuple, list, set, dictionary, right? These are very important data structures and that are directly available in Python, which makes our life simple, isn't it? So let us see them. String have type str in Python. str. We know that string are enclosed in single quote or double quote, isn't it? Backslash is used to escape the quotes and special characters. Len of string is used to find length of the string. Plus is used to concatenate two strings. Star is used to repeat a string an integer number of times. Okay, let us see. Name is equal to Ami Shakshi. We want to see the string operations, right? So we can have the idea. Name is equal to Ami Shakshi. In double quotes I have written. You can write in single quote also. Print len of name. That is For this variable, I want to have whatever is string is there, we want to find the length. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In C language, we used to have the null character as the end of the string, right? That is not being applied. Okay, it is not being applied here. Okay, so don't have your concept of C applying here. Fine, this is Python. It is different, isn't it? Okay, so for len of name, it is giving us output as 10. But what about this new string? What is that string? Print len of in single quote 1 backslash n escape sequence, isn't it? Whenever we are having something with backslash, it is escape sequence, isn't it? Okay, so backslash n and then after 2. So what is the length of this? You can say this is 1. For 1 it is 1. For backslash n, this backslash and so 2, 3. No, it is backslash n, it is escape sequence. So backslash n is considered as one character. Fine. So 1 is the length 1, backslash n is 2, and this number 2 is total 3. So output is 3. Okay. Now if we want to concatenate and repeat, what do we do? Let us say that designation is equal to name. Name was Amichakshi. Okay. Plus, in double quotes, I am saying that apostrophe S. I want to say that Amichakshi's designation is associate professor. So for that, we can see that we are having the backslash, no, it is apostrophe S. Designation is associate professor. Fine. Okay. And then we can print the designation. So it will concatenate two strings, right? This one is in the variable and this is what we have specified here as double quote string. Fine. Okay. Now if we want to have the repetition and number of times, I want to have Amichakshi, 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 Amichakshi. Right. So I want to have that as 5 times. So I can do it print name multiply by 5. Right. You can say name multiply by 5. If it is integer variables, then it will be multiplication. But here for the string, it is repetition. Right. So we can have, say, typically we used to have the God name repeated like this, Ram, 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 right? So that we can print with the help of very easy statement, that is that string multiply by whatever times we want to have. Fine. Okay. Now we want to have the multi-line strings. Till now we are having the string that is of single line, or you can say few words in it, right? Now we want to have multi-line strings. For that, what we can do is, in Python, we can use the 3 quotes. 3 quotes. S is equal to 1, 2, 3. Double quotes is used, but 3 times. 3 times the double quotes is used. Hello and welcome. Now I'm giving enter to the world of, again giving enter, and computers, right? So this way it will be considered. When I say print s, it will give me the same string as the output, the way I have given, that is hello and welcome. Enter, that is new line, to the world of, again enter, then computers. Fine. So this way we can have, let's see, right? All the things are there in this particular thing. First of all, string operations, right? We have understood that. Fine. The length I already explained you. Then the designation, that is concatenation. Then this is the repetition. And now this is the multi-line string. Okay. We can see the output. Fine. Hello and welcome to the world of computers. The way we have written here also. If we want, we can use the double quotes or otherwise single quote. But that should be 3 times, right? If I use, say, S is equal to, let us have just 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we can say, good morning. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then after we'll be having print S. Okay. Let us run it again. First of all, we have considered this hello and welcome to the world of computers. You can say 3 quotes you have used, but multi-line string is not there. Let us give that. Morning. Let me say it as evening. Everything I want to consider. So morning, evening, right? Night. Now let us run this. Morning, evening, night, right? So good was there in one line and other things are there in other lines. Fine? Okay. So this is multi-line string. Fine? So what next? We want to know split. What do we mean by split? We will break the string in parts, right? We'll break the string in parts. So what we do is, for example, here we are having, say B is equal to double quotes, my colon name colon is colon right? Here the words are separated with the colon. Words are separated with the colon, and that's way we want to split that colon. With that we want to split and want to get the strings available. Fine. So for that we can say C is equal to B dot split. Okay, and when we print it, it returns a list of strings, right? It returns a list of strings, and that is, say, my name is Ami. Now, where do you use all these things? You can say, for example, we are having our etc password file in our Linux. In that, the name, user ID, you can say group ID, password, home directory, actual name, all these things are written and they are separated with the colon, right? So such files, or you can say if we are having comma separated value, which you are using as your data set, these also can be separated using the particular separator. Fine. Here we have used the colon. If it is comma separated value, we can be splitting it with the comma. Fine. So the output we have seen for the example, but let us run that and check it out. Here it is. Right? This is a list. List is what? List is, we can say that any numbers, or you can say string or numbers of any type separated by comma, and they are there in the square bracket. This is the list, right? Now let us know some more string functions. Let's say that we are having string as Ami. We want to print the original string, right? And then we want to see the changes whatever we are doing. Okay. So s dot upper, if we want to save the result, we have to save it in one variable. That is, say up is equal to s dot upper. And now, if we want to print that, we can say print upper and its value, that is up, right? That is in uppercase we'll be getting. For lowercase, we'll be using as dot lower. Store the result in one variable, then after print it. Okay, so in lowercase, we'll be able to see. str1 is equal to say hello and welcome to the world of computers. But in mixed cases, it is not there in only lowercase, it is not there in only uppercase, but it is there in mixed cases, right? In mixed cases. So what do we do? First of all, we'll print the original. See, always try to show that whatever was already available and whatever changes you are doing. Fine. So print the original one. After that, we can say swap the case, right? So string one, that is a variable dot swap case. So whatever is there in the capital letter, that will be there in the small, and whatever is there in the small letter, that will be the capital one. Fine. Let's see that by running it. See here, swap case. Okay, swap case. For that, what output it gives us? Swap case. We can see that, right? This hello H, you can see it was capital, and then after few small letters were there. So here you can find them as capital one, right? H small, E double L O, and those are the capital ones. This is small, this is capital, again small, right? So reverse, it is swapping the case, that uppercase in lower and lowercase in upper, right? Now we want to see about the title case also. For title case, we have to write it as dot title, string dot title, right? Here the string name is str1, so str1 dot title. What do we mean by title? It means that first letter is capital. First letter is capital. Let us see what output it was giving us for this hello and welcome. See, this was original, right? This was original. Now, when we are doing it as title case, the first letter of each and every word becomes the capital, right? For title case, the first letter of each and every word is capital. Okay. Now, if we want to capitalize the what do we do is capitalize. So we'll directly call it as string one dot capitalize. Fine. So after that, what is the case? That string one dot center. Fine. String one dot center. What this capitalize do? Does it do the uppercase? No, it only converts the first character to the uppercase. Okay, only first character. We can see that here. H is capital, not other letters, right? And the original string was this one, right? Original string was this one. Fine. It is not getting changed. So what we can say is whatever function we want to apply, we can apply to the same string. Okay. Now center, that means what? Center, that is str1 dot center say 80. That means what? Center the text in the provided width. 80 characters are there, so in that will center it, right? So here I cannot show you those all 80 spaces. So let me show you here, right? Here we can see the output. See that here the space is being left. After that the text is there, and after that also some spaces are there, right? So that is the 80 width is there. Inside that it has put the text in the center, right? Okay. Now we want to see some more operations, that is find and index. So find method finds the first occurrence of the specified value. first occurrence of the specified value. Okay. Second method which we want to know is index. This method finds the first occurrence of the specified value. So, does it have any difference? Yes. What is the difference? That's what we want to know. We can say that the description says it is the same thing. That is, when we are using find or we are using index, it is the same thing. But when it is being found, when it is not being found, there is a difference. Okay, now what is that? Let's see that. Say we are having str1 is equal to hello and welcome to the world of computers. Fine. Now print str1 dot find world. So it will give us the index at which the world is being found, right? First occurrence. Okay, so let's say that it is available at 25th. Okay, index. str1 dot index of world, that is also 25, right? So both are giving us the same output when the string is being found. But what if the string is not found? Now the difference is there in the output. Let's see. Print str1 dot find q. Q is not available in this one. Okay. So that will give us -1 if find is being used, and if we are using index, it will raise name error, that is Q is not found, right? As Q is not there in this particular string, it will say that raise error when we are having the index. Okay. So let's see that by running it. Okay, 25, 25 minus 1, and then after value error, right? Yeah, value error. Okay, not name error. Name error we have seen. This is value error. Okay, name error is there when the name is not available, isn't it? Like if the q variable we are using, right? If I have used it this way, print str1 dot find q, right? That way also we can try, but if the q variable is available, fine. So name error is there, right? So, but that is for find. If the variable is not there, whether you are using with find or whether you are using with index, it will give us name error, okay? For this. But if you write it in double quotes, that is if you have provided the string, and it will provide us the value error, right? So if I modify this, that means this one. Now you can say you have provided string, so it will give us the value error, right? Okay, so keep that thing in your mind. Now, so if you do this way, it will give us the substring not found. Name error if q is not found when the q is variable, right? Both the way I have put it, so you can try it yourself. Now the special cases, right? These are the few examples which I have seen in the certification courses which I have done. The special cases, special examples which I like very much, and where you should use your mind to do something. Okay, so that thing I have put here. Say print len of say amis plus pan. Okay, len of this. Okay, now what happens? Let us say single quote starts. Okay, AMY. Again, single quote is there. You can say, ma'am, it is apostrophe, right? But that you understand. Compiler Are we having compiler? No, we are having interpreter. So interpreter is going to understand this? No. It will simply say this as error. Fine? Okay. And typically what happens that we are in hurry that we consider, oh, it is apostrophe s, okay, so we should consider it. No. If we want to put it inside this single quote string, we have to escape it, right? In the next, we can see that, say, Ami, right? Then backslash and then apostrophe, right? So it has escaped this single quote, okay? Then S, double quotes over. Here this has started with the double quotes, fine? It doesn't depend. This is the example which is being given and the output is being asked, right? If you want inside the single quote only, then too you have to escape this, right? If you want to get the output, okay? So this is the case, plus pen. So it will be giving whatever is the line, that is 8. Fine. Now after that, len, Ami's pen. You can say here you haven't escaped. Fine, because it is double quotes, right? Because it is double quotes. I do not need to escape the single quote. But if I am writing inside this, then you can say I need to escape this apostrophe. Okay. You can say then why you have put it here. See, it is nothing like I have put, it is being asked for the output of this particular string. Okay, so people may confuse that if it is apostrophe, then we'll consider only one character. And if it is backslash s, then people may consider, oh, two characters are there. So that way people can make the mistake. So such things are the special examples, isn't it? To confuse people. Okay, so that we can run and see. Here you can see no error because I have commented it. Okay, we can uncomment and run that. We can have the idea. It is giving error. Okay, it is saying, what is the error? It is saying that error as single quoted string needs to escape the single quote. Okay, if I escape it inside this and run, fine. So for all of them, it will be giving you output 8. Okay. So take care of that. Now we want to know about string indexing. Indexing typically in arrays in say C or Java language. See, I am giving you the reference of C and Java language because you already know that. Okay, fine. So in that, what we used to have is for array, we are providing the index that is in square bracket. We used to say 0, 1, 2, and we can say that we'll be able to access that particular element in the array, right? Same way for string in Python, we can access one by one character. So how we do that? For that, let us have one simple string. Let us say name is equal to Akets, print name of 0. See, here also the array in other languages, that is list here or a string here, right, can be accessed the first element as the name of 0. Index start from 0 as in other languages, right? This is not array, okay? This is string, okay? But for that also it is available that we can access the first character as 0 index, okay? So that will be getting, then let us say that we are having name of 3, then what will be there? What is it? Name minus 1? Ooh. Have we seen that before? No, we haven't. Here, if we want to read the string in the reverse, we can have the index that is from -1, -2, -3, -4, that way. Okay. If we want to have the string given here only, not in the variable. So, say single quote hello is a string available, and then after 1. That means what? That means we'll be taking the 1, that is the 1 index from it. Okay, 1 index from it. Let us run and see the output. We can have the idea. Okay, and what if we are using name of 50, where name is only of this few characters, so 50 is too much, isn't it? So let us see what output we'll be getting. Okay, I'll be running one by one so you can have the idea. This is for name is equal to Eckert's. Okay, print name of 0. First character, okay, A. Now, name of 3. 3, this is 0. Okay, A is 0. Then this is 1, 2, 3, isn't it? So let us see. It is giving us D. Okay, now name of -1. So we'll be going from reverse. So what is -1? S. -2 is D. -3 is A. Right? That way it works for string. Let us run this. Okay, you can have the idea. Then hello, this is string given in line, and then we are giving 1, right? So this is H is 0 and E is 1. Okay, so when we run it, we are getting E. Okay, let us uncomment this and check it out. Name of 50, we are not having that many characters, so it is giving us index error, string index out of range, right? So we should not give something like this. Okay. Now let us have the string slicing. What is that? To obtain a substring. To obtain a substring, we can have S of start and end. S of start and end. What is that? S is string, right? In this square bracket, we are providing start and end. That means it will start at start and ends at n minus 1. Okay. Say S0 colon len of S. That means it will consider same as S. Starting from start, that is 0, and end at whatever is the len of S minus 1. Okay. Both start and end are optional. Not necessary that you have to provide the start and end. Okay. So S inside that only colon is same as S of 0 colon len S. Right? Got the point? First is for the start, and second is, that is after colon whatever is there is for and minus 1. If you do not provide, then it consider it as 0 for starting point and len S for end point, right? So let us see the examples. We can have the idea. What we are learning is string slicing or indexing. Fine. Let us say that name is equal to Amichakshi. Now, name of 0 to 3 we want to get. 0 to 3. So we should consider 0, 1 and 2. 3 characters, right? Because this will be 3 minus 1. Isn't it? I have written that in the comment also. So you can see that. Fine. So A is 0. Then M is 1. And 2 is I. So we'll be getting the output as right? Then for print name colon 3. Colon 3, that means for starting point we haven't provided any. So it will consider by default, that is 0. For the end point, it is already given, that is 3. So it will go from 0 to 3 minus 1. So it will again give us the output, that is AMI. Okay. Then after, say name of 3 colon 3. So starting point is 3. So what about the end point? That is to the len S minus 1. Okay. So what we can be getting? That is, A is 0, M is 1, I is 2. Okay. So C is 3. So from that 3, we'll be getting the output until the end. Okay. If you are giving a name colon, that means it will consider whole Ami Chakshi. Fine. Now, when start and have same sign, and if start is greater than equal to and, empty slice is written. Okay. Let's say that we do have print name -1 colon -4. What should be there? Let us look the range. Say Ami Shakshi, right? Indexing say that positive 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we see the reverse indexing, it is -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, -7, -8, -9. Okay. Now, what should be the case? We know that start should be less than the end when it is positive, isn't it? Positive means start should be less than the end when it is positive number. But if it is negative number, then we can say that it is reverse, isn't it? It is reverse. So if we give it like this, then it should give us the empty string. Okay, let's see that. We have seen, we have understood this, right? We have understood all the things, that is using the index, right? Slicing, all the examples we have understood. Fine. Now let me have this. Let me show you this. Okay. Name is Ami Chakshi. Fine. Let me copy this from here because I want to use it. Okay. Now I want to have the slicing. How I want to have the slicing? That is -1 -4. Okay. Comma, name of -1 colon -4. This I want to use. Okay. What should be the output? -1 -4. Is it part of string? No, it is the thing what I have printed here. So what is the output of this? Empty string. Why it is empty? Because typically we should have start as low number and as higher number, right? But when it is negative, we can say that -1 is greater actually than -4, isn't it? So if it is reverse way, then we'll be getting it as empty string. Yeah, but if it is 1 and 4, then it is proper, isn't it? So it will give us the characters from 1 to 3. 1, 2, and 3, isn't it? Now, for this, it will return us the empty string. But if it is -4 -1, then it will be giving us the output, right? Because it will consider from what? This is -4, right? -4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So from O, it will be giving us the output till -1. No, -1 -1. So -2. Okay. So it will give us the output till S. Okay. So OK, S will be the output. Okay. Now what will be the case for this one? -4 only is given. Okay. So -4. That means let us go from here. This is -1, -2, -3, -4. right? So O is there at the -4 location, and we haven't provided anything at the right hand side, right? So it will go till end of the string. Fine. So OKSI. Fine. Now if we provide at start point -4 and at the end we are providing the positive number, so it can be the case. Okay, it's not necessary that the start point and end point must be there in positive only or negative only. You can provide them as positive negative mix, but it should be proper. If it is proper, it will give you output, otherwise it will provide you empty string, isn't it? Okay, so let us say -4. So for -4, let us see for this Amichok, what should be the case? 1, 2, 3, 4. So O is available at the -4. Okay. Then after it is giving us the AND, that is 8. So till 7 we should go. Okay. -4, that means we are coming to O. Right? Fine. Okay. Now what is 7? 7 is S, isn't it? At 7, S is available. So it will give us OKS. If you, in case, do not understand that what should be the output, we should have this table and we can try, right? -4. -4 is here. So O. Then we should go till 7. So let us say that we should consider from this one. So O is there, then this is K is there, and at 7 position we are having S. Okay, so it's very simple. We can get it very easily. Fine. Now, if we give -1 -4, I already showed you that. So for that, it will be giving us what? It will be giving us the empty string, right? We should always have the less value at the left hand side and the greater value at the right hand side, right? How greater and how less is known to you. For positive, what is less, what is greater, and for negative, what is positive and what is greater, that is also known to you. Fine. Now let us see -10 -1. Now what is the case? -10 -10. Is it available here? This is -1, -2 up to -9. -10 is not available, isn't it? Let's see. Then till -1. -10 is not available. Okay, let us say that it should be somewhere here, right? That is before A, isn't it? But there nothing is there. Okay, then let me say that -9. Okay, till what point we want to go? -1, right? Let's see that -9, then -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1 is there, so I have to go till -2, isn't it? -2 is available here. So we will be getting the output as AMICHOKS. Amazing. If it is negative, then if we are giving -10 or -50 or anything, doesn't matter. But for string 50, it was not giving, isn't it? But for -50, now see, what's the rule? Okay. When left index is very, very, very less than start index. Start index is 0, isn't it? Very, very less, that means -50. Okay. The right index is very, very large compared to right index. Then what happens? We ignore and Python will return full string, right? Here, this -50 is less than, very, very less than that of the start index, and this right index is very, very greater than that of the right index of our real string, right? Then it will print or it will return the whole string, right? It ignores, right? It ignores that what you are giving, fine? It gives us the full string, fine? That's amazing. Okay. So these are very good examples, and you can see that this can be asked by giving different index numbers, and you have to try that. Okay. In the MCQ, this can be asked to you. Fine. And we are appearing for interview at the company. At that time also, such questions can be asked to you for test. Okay. Now we want to see this strip method. Strip method, it removes the white space from the beginning or at the end. So here, let's say that here some space is given in the starting, and after that also some space is given. If I do that strip, it will return the what you can say is starting space also and end space also, fine? If you want to see exactly, what we can do is we could have print the single quote here, say comma, same way we can have the single quote here or double quote, whatever, but at least something which says that this is the starting of the string and this is the end of the string. Okay, let's say that it is this. Okay, so we can say that the space is being removed. Okay. Now, if you want to replace a string with another string, then we can say A is equal to hello world, right? Replace string, we have to store somewhere. A dot replace, say HE is equal to jelly. We are replacing, it is not equal, we can say that HE is being replaced with jelly, right? So what happens? That replace H with jelly, but doesn't change the original string, right? So what will be there for replace, and this one HE was there, right? Which is being replaced with jelly, right? Which is being replaced with jelly. HE, right? Not H. HE is there. HE is replaced with jelly, right? Okay. So check whether the string is substring of other or not. For that, we are using the which operator? Unity operator. String Choksi. String Ami Choksi. If string in string 2, whether it is there in string 2 or not, print yes. If string 2 not in str1, print not in. So let us run this. We can have the idea. Choksi. Okay. If string 1 in string 2, we are checking whether this choksi is available in string 2 or not, right? So for first one it has said yes, and for second one it has said not in. We can understand it very easily, isn't it? How it is? Choksi is part of this second string. So it says yes here, and you can say that string 2. Now this whole string, Ami Shoksi, the whole is not available in this Shoksi, right? It is not going to find the part of it. Okay, it is not going to find the part of it. We can find only if this is the small string which is available as part of this second string. If it is so, so for this we can say that it is yes, but for the reverse one it is not true. Okay. Now, if we want to pass the string to a function, what will be there? Let's see that. Def print words and S. S is the string being passed to it. Now what we are doing is words is equal to S dot split, and for I in words print I. We want to print the words of a particular string, and for that we are passing it to the function and getting the output. Okay, so what is that? St is equal to hello and welcome to the world of computers, and print words st. We are passing the string to this function, that is print words. Okay, so what will be getting as the output? The words, right? And those we are printing. So those will be able to get as the output. We can run and see. We can see it as hello and welcome to the world of computers. One by one line it is printing, right? If I do not want to have that, simply I should write it as and is equal to, I can say whatever is the separator I want to have, right, for the output. So instead of printing in the new lines, it will print here, and we can say it will be this way in this single line, right? We have changed, right, the code. That is why it is this, isn't it? If I do not have this, then we'll be getting it as this one, print, right? Simple. That is I. Okay, we can do this. It will be giving us the original output, right? That is in one line, hello, in second line, and right in third line, welcome. I mean to say that words are being printed in the lines. Okay. The string slicing, strip, replace, right? Whatever we have seen, right? Both the things are there here also. Yeah, here somewhere. Yeah, this is wrong, right? Wrong in the way that it is. We can say indentation is not given here. Fine. If you give this way, it will definitely give you the error, right? Right? So what we do is in and not in operators, right? So give the proper indentation. This is wrong. Fine. This is also wrong. So write it properly in the what? In the code. Okay. Otherwise it will give you the indentation error, right? Now, what is the case? This is for Python shell actually. So we have to run on the terminal. Okay. Let me show you terminal. But for that, we need to have present. Okay. Oh, but time is over. I'll show you next time. Okay. Let's stop here. Stop.